Hello everyone, this is Drew Wee from Doing Network bringing you another new video. Alright, so today we're going to talk about Norleras. Good old Norleras right here. As many of you may know, Norleras has an effect that is much similar to the effect of the notorious Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End, which is currently banned. I believe it will stay banned for as long as Yu-Gi-Oh! Will last, which I hope will be for all eternity. Okay, before we start going through the deck list I have here, let's just take a brief tour on Chaos Emperor Dragon's effect and why it was banned in the first place. Alright, so let's look up Chaos Emperor Dragon right now. Chaos Emperor. Alright, as you can see, it's banned. So, right here it says, this card cannot be normal summon or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play one light and one dark monster in your graveyard. You can pay 1,000 life points to send all cards in both players' hands and on the field to the graveyard. Inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card that is sent to the graveyard by this effect. Alright, so that's a pretty neat effect, right? So, well, it's banned, so there's nothing you can do about it. Alright, so, right after that, let's take a look at Yatagarasu. I would say Yatagarasu is like its Chaos Emperor Dragon's partner in crime. Let's see why. This card cannot be special summoned. This card returns to the owner's hand during the end phase of his turn that this card is normal summoned or flip face up. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent's life points, your opponent skips their next battle draw phase. Alright, so you can imagine that, right? You basically you summon Chaos Emperor Dragon. You go, okay, okay, pal, send all your cards from your hand to your graveyard, and then send your whole field to the graveyard, and then I'll just summon this little guy, this little Yatagarasu. I'll attack you. You can't draw next turn. I'll just keep on attacking you, and I'll have you in this lockdown. So basically, that's the Yatagarasu Chaos Emperor Dragon lockdown. Alright, so today we're going to talk about Norleras. Norleras has a similar effect, so why don't we read Norleras' effect first. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by removing from play one light fairy type monster and 3 dark fiend type monsters in your graveyard. You can pay 1,000 life points to send all cards in the field and in both players' hands to the graveyard, then you draw one card. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much similar to Chaos Emperor Dragons, right? I mean, Chaos Emperor is just you inflict 300 life points of damage, and then Norleras is you draw one card, which is a pretty huge advantage considering your opponent doesn't have any cards in his hand or her hand. So yeah, Norleras is a bit harder to summon. You have to remove from play one light fairy type monster, and 3 dark fiend type monsters in your graveyard. So yeah, that's pretty tough, and it has lower attack. So well, it has basically almost the same effect. And let's just like talk about this effect first. Sending all cards on the field and in both players' hands to your graveyard, that's a really neat effect, especially when you can draw one card. So Norleras, just like Chaos Emperor Dragon, you have to pay a cost of 1,000 life points, but 1,000 life points is really nothing. Considering you're pulling off this big effect, you're basically turning this whole duel into your favor. So that's a pretty neat effect, I'd say. So why don't we just go through a deck list right now? My deck, this Norleras deck is not the same. It's not as similar to the real Chaos Emperor Dragon Lockdown. Of course, if I did make one, it'll probably be banned. So let's just go through a deck. Alright, so first up, Lackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Okay, this guy, he's really tough. He's probably one of the best cards. It's a great top deck for Norleras when you send all cards from your hand to graveyard and then you draw one card. If you draw Lackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, you're pretty much set for the duel. And then, yeah, it's also a level 8 monster for trade-in. So you can discard Lackluster Soldier to draw 2 cards if you want to pull off a combo like for Norleras. Um, and then you have Dark Nephthys. This is also a great top deck to have. It's also a level 8 for trade-in. If you have 3 or more Dark Monsters in your graveyard, you can send this card from your hand to your graveyard by banishing 2 of the Dark Monsters. During the standby phase, this card is sent to graveyard, special summon this card, and then when you do, destroy 1 spell trap card on the field. That's pretty neat. Then we have the Dark Creator. This guy is pretty much the best. The I said one. I say like one of the I would say one of the most average top deck we can pull off using Norleras. So let's read this effect. Must first be special summoned from your hand by having 5 or more dark type monsters in your graveyard. Well, we'll have that by the time we use Norleras' effect. Once per turn, you can banish 1 dark type monster from your graveyard, target 1 dark type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. And that's a really good effect. It's also a level 8 monster for trade-in. Alright, so now here we have Destiny Hero Malicious. Destiny Hero Malicious is in your graveyard. It's a combo with Plague Spreader Zombie. You can send 1 Malicious from your hand from your graveyard to the banish, and then you can special summon Plague Spreader Zombie. Never mind. I'm sorry. You can banish 1 Malicious and special summon another Malicious from your deck, and then you have Plague Spreader Zombie in your graveyard. You can send the card you drew for Norleras back into the top of your deck and special summon Plague Spreader Zombie from your graveyard. Then you can easily sync tune for a level 8 synchro. I personally like this tune for Void Ogre Dragon because since you have no cards in your hand, once per turn during either player's turn when your opponent activates a spell trap, while you have no cards in your hand, you can negate the activation and destroy it. So during the next turn, if they draw like the top deck a Dark Hole or a Smashing Ground or whatever, or Monster Reborn, great top deck, but you have Void Ogre Dragon, negate, bam. Okay, so that's a really neat combo. And then you have Dark Grafer. Dark Grafer is the card that gets Norleras in the graveyard. You can see that I have no fairy type monsters in my deck right now. So you're wondering, how am I going to summon Norleras? Well, the real answer is I'm not actually going to summon Norleras in this deck. The real answer lies in Phantom of Chaos. Phantom of Chaos is you can target 1 effect monster in your graveyard, banish the target, and then during the end phase, until the end phase, this card's name and attack becomes that monster's name and attack, and it gains the monster's effects. You must control this face-up card to activate and to resolve this effect. So I would have Norleras in the graveyard easily, because trade-in, you have Dark Grafer. Most of you may know what Dark Grafer does. You special summon by discarding 1 level 5 or dark monster, or you can normal summon it. And once returned, discard 1 dark type monster, send 1 dark monster from your deck to graveyard. So Norleras is easily sent to the grave. And then you would have Phantom Chaos use Norleras' effect by banishing Norleras from your graveyard, and then you would just activate its effect, pay 1,000 life points, which is really nothing, and then clear the field, and then you just top deck a card. I would like to pull off this Malicious effect first, this Void Ogre Dragon effect, this combo. So yeah, you pretty much have the whole duel down. And okay, Summoner Monk. This guy is for really just getting out Phantom Chaos, or just another Summoner Monk, for an overlay for Lavalval Chain to send a dark monster from your deck to the river, or you can top deck. Well, I wouldn't really use the latter. And then you have Necrogardna. This is just for blocking attacks, as you may know, and it's great for it's great for Dark Grafers effect. And then you have Plague Spreader Zombie. You know what that was for. And then Raiko Lightsworn Hunter. This is a great card to have. It's a light target for Blackluster Soldier. You can flip, destroy a card, then mill 3 cards, and one of those cards may be Plague Spreader Zombie, a Malicious, or a Norleras. So that's a really good card to have. And then you have Allure of Darkness. Of course, I run a lot of dark monsters, and I need a lot of draw power, so obviously I'm going to run Allure of Darkness. And then Card Destruction, good card to have. basically just, if you have like malicious or like plague spreader in your hand, or like Norleras, you can just activate card destruction, send your hand to the graveyard, draw new cards. Really good card to have, and it can ruin your opponent's hand, for example. Okay, so Charge of the Light Brigade. This card is just to mill the deck and to get Lightsworn Hunter Reiko. And then you have Different Dimension Reincarnation. This card, it's actually Different Dimension Reincarnation is to get out. It's for like I would say it's for getting out those banished cards that you want to have back into your grave. For example, if I want Necrogardna and I have Norleras in my hand, I have Necrogardna in my graveyard. Banished because I already used it, and I have Norleras in my hand. I would activate Different Dimension Reincarnation just to discard Norleras and bring Necrogardna onto my side of the field in defense position, in attack position. But then, well, yeah, that's basically the combo. Or you can get out different, for example, different banish cards for like BLS or Dark Crater. If you banish a dark type monster like Dark Rafer has a decent attack. It's quite versatile. And then you have Dark Eruption. It's for getting out cards like Phantom of Chaos, and Summoner Monk, and all those great cards. Okay, Dark Hole. It's just to clear the field. It's a great card to have. Although I don't really use Dark Hole much. If I can pull off the Norleras combo, I would just use Summoner Monk, or I would just do it. I would just discard. I could just use Summoner's Monk and discard Dark Hole and just finish off my combo. And then Foolish Burial, great card. Discard. Send a card, Norleras or Malicious or Plague Spreader to the graveyard. And Hand Destruction, great card to have. You know what it does. Sends 2 cards from your hand to graveyard. It can be Norleras or whatever, and draw 2 cards. Amazing. And then Heavy Storm, just in case your opponent has some really bad card on the field where you can't banish, like Necro Valley or Imperial Iron Wall or something that just completely just destroys your whole entire deck. Monster Reborn, great card, great top deck for Norleras. Reinforcement Army, basically to get out Dark Rafer. Trade-ins, you know what those are for, and since I run no traps, I'm running 1 trap, Treacherous Trap Hole. I can pull off a few synchros for level 8 for the Plague Spreader Zombie and Destiny Hero Malicious combo, and these are great cards to have, especially Void Ogre Dragon. And Ally just Catastor, I just sync one with Necrogardna. And these are all the other cards. Lavalo Chain's a really neat effect. And, well, that's basically it. Oh, and one last thing. Norleras' effect. It says it sends all cards on the field and both players' hand to graveyard. And that's a really neat effect. So you're wondering, can Starlight Road stop that card? I mean, you're destroying everything. You're destroying way more than just 2 cards, right? It's Starlight Road. But no, you can't activate Starlight Road because it says destroys 2 or more cards you control. So Norleras right here says you can pay 1,000 life points to send all cards on the field. Send and destroy are 2 different things. So yep, tough luck. If you have Starlight Road face down, you can't activate it for Norleras' effect. So, yep, checkmate for Norleras. Okay, and I would say that concludes for the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.